killed during Saturday storms when they ran into a tree that had fallen on Highway 14 near Lexington with their vehicle. They've been ID'd as 37-year-old Calvin Cox and his 11-year-old son, DeKyburn. A teenage passenger, DeKavion, was taken to the hospital. In Grenada County, Deputy Lee Smallwood was helping block the road off when a tree fell right in front of him Sunday night. Smallwood's house was damaged during the March tornadoes, and the department says he stayed out and continued helping people, which is what he was doing Sunday when the close call happened. The entire city of Natchez was put under a boil water notice Monday when those storms rolled through and lightning apparently knocked out power to the plant. That put the lights out, but also turned off the pumps, which caused the system to lose pressure. When that happens, contaminants can back up into the system. Emergency high-pressure pumps were turned on, rectifying the situation. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to Crossing the Aisle, the daily show where politics and relationships collide. I'm Shaun, a Democrat who believes in building bridges.
And I'm Lindsey, a Republican who thinks he's building them in the wrong direction.
Every day we break down the biggest political stories from both sides, we challenge each other's views, and somehow we still sit down for dinner.
No shouting matches, no echo chambers. Just real conversations around the issues that divide us and the common ground we can sometimes find.
So whether you're here to debate, learn, or just hear how a politically opposite couple makes it work,
this is Crossing the Aisle.
Welcome into Crossing the Aisle on this Tuesday. Tuesday got wrong, Mike. Always. Tuesday, not Monday.
Right, Mike.
Yes.
See. Okay, that was a quick
Quick fix there. Fix there.
Okay.
Hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day long holiday weekend. It was quite rainy. Shaun did not complete his Murph assignment.
I will at 4:30 this afternoon. I'm not going to go the year without doing Murph. I promised that to myself. So I will do it at 4 o'clock. It's at our 4:30 or whatever it is. I think that's the time we have scheduled.
We'll see. If
so anyway, but it was I almost broke my windows this morning. I felt thunder just shaking my house thing. It was terrible.
Yeah. Shaun, you know that Southern Poverty Law Center put out their new hate map and they have fallen off the hate map. I'm not hating enough.
You're on my hate map, so that's you should be good at that.
Rude.
You will always stay there.
Rude.
So take solace in that fact.
Guess I haven't done enough hating this year.
That's it. Well, now you're in the media. You can't hate all the time. So I mean, you can hate sometimes. I guess that's part of it. But
I can still hate the issues I hate.
there's a lot of hate you've been giving around, right? The AG's office is taking a blunt of it. I don't know. There's several other.
Well, on that one issue for sure. Yeah. You know
we got more of that today later on.
The trans people think that if the health community doesn't call them by their gender identity, that they need to break their arm or some weird stuff like that. The reasons I will never be a liberal.
The reasons I saw somebody on some post about this yesterday talking about how we need to get rid of no-fault divorce. I'm like, what the hell? Well,
Shaun's a pro at that.
Really? You want to force people to stay married? I was like, okay, whatever. But everybody, to each their own. This is why I'm not a conservative, I guess. Anyway, so we've got a lot of stuff here today. I know you guys had a long weekend, and I hope you enjoyed it, except for all the rain, which was, quite terrible. But
it bummed everybody out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, I did see breaking though today was actually Kingfish had it first, and I just saw WLBT.
Did you see? I just made a post about it. I put our picture.
Oh, about the one time we went to Eudora. We went to Eudora one time.
But it was really nice. It was like really well decorated and well done, and I'm kind of bummed about that. It was a really nice little place.
You were so bummed we went there one time.
Well, I mean, I liked it though.
It's not like it was like Rowan's or Martin's closing.
Well, like, we really can walk to those places.
Really bummed then. So Eudora.
Like when Finian's closed and you went into a depression.
That was depressing when Finian's closed. I'm not kidding about that. I really am upset. I'm still upset about that. I was like, sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh, can I just walk in or break in and just drink a beer at the bar? There's nobody there.
There's still some homeless people hanging out.
Yeah,
the sides of it though.
Probably so. So Eudora is over there in the district area, closed this weekend. They've only been open since September. I've talked to Kingfish about it this morning, September of 2023. So not very long, not even 2 years yet. And it's sad to see that district. Lindsay's had a lot of issues with restaurants over the years. I don't know.
Wonder why? Is it the location?
I think Salamukis is still there and done well, but Jeff Good, I figure anything he does well for some, because he knows how to run a restaurant. There was a business called Fine and Dandy there that was like a gourmet burger place, and I
heard a lot of people talk about that place.
Yeah.
I never went, but
I went a few times. I thought it sucked personally. So
Did you?
yeah, I didn't really get it. I mean, it was like gourmet burgers. It just didn't make a lot of
I
sense.
mean, I feel like we would have gone back to Eudores had it been closer to one of our homes.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in those district apartments, whatever they're called, right there, I guess I could see you going. It just didn't seem that location just doesn't hold on to stuff. There was also not in the Eudores or Fine and Dandy building, but in the Salamukis, there was like this little radio cafe. There was like a Mexican place that always had problems, and people could complain about that. And that shut down. Then it became like a Spanish club that didn't make it. And Jeff is apparently hold down the fort with Salamukis over there.
Well, I love like the decor and the atmosphere inside Eudora's. It was like just really. I remember
nice.
I said that's the first thing I said when I walked in. I was like, I really like the way this place looks.
I did too. I thought it was cool. Then there was like this cultivation food hall right in that district.
I remember when that was over there. It's not still there.
No, that closed down too. That thing was overpriced as hell, though.
It really
was. Yeah, and it didn't make it. They were trying to make it like this overpriced food court, and it didn't work out. So I don't know, that little area. I think, that kind of little district works in other cities that I've been to around the country. Just there, I guess maybe. How you get
you're
to
in Jackson. You can't forget that you're in Jackson.
You're in Jackson, but it's pretty safe over there. I don't know if that's the issue. I don't know whether just people just don't think to go over there or what the issue is. But I mean, they think to go over there for Salamuki, so that's obviously worked out. But other than that, it just for some reason the restaurants there have just had a difficult time. So
I wonder if Salamuki's is doing as well as it used to now that there's one in Madison.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've actually never been in the one in the district because, again, I don't go to the district much, and so I haven't been in there. But I heard I think it's doing well. I haven't heard anything different, but I don't know. But that whole area, I think, has just had some issues about stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Jackson's like that. Certain businesses can hold on and make it, and others can. It's just kind of.
Salamuki's has also that name recognition, though, just because it's been around for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a big part of it.
It's got to be hard to come in and open a new place, especially an upscale place like that post-COVID.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, COVID hit a lot of restaurants hard and Fonder, and there was one I went to used to go to the Barrel House all the time. And that didn't make it much past COVID. There's a lot of stuff like it. Just COVID really didn't kill the restaurant.
It really hurt some businesses. Yeah,
but I mean, then you see like what's happening in Belhaven. We're just talking about Rowan's, and then there's Polito's and the brewery and what's that other place right there called? Oh God, the one right next to Rowan's. Everybody talks to it. I never go there. It's really nice.
Well, there's the Manship. We go there all the time.
Yeah, of course that. I'm not talking about, but the other one. Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. I can't remember. Anyway, there's that restaurant right next to Rowan's that's really popular. And
the Elvies.
Elvies, thank you. I've only been there like twice, but it's good.
I've never been there. I've always heard it's good, but
it's real good. And they got that little place with all the the wooden buildings there with the ice cream shop and the bar and all that kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, and then there's that the Greek place.
Kiefer's. Yeah, it's been there forever. And now they opened one in Madison too. So there's one in Madison now. But that district there in Belhaven has just boomed. So for some reason that area is booming. Boom.
Renee.
Yeah, that area is just taken off, and I think it's going to continue to grow through there. For some reason, whatever the reason is, maybe it's the location of it, the colleges, those kinds of things, the medical community, but the district just has had issues where it hasn't to that extent. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a restaurant guy. I don't know how that business. We should call Stephen O'Neill and ask his opinion. He'd probably know better than us.
Well, I mean, you look at where his restaurant is, the Manship, and it's Belhaven, all those houses right there. That whole entire community is within, it's a skip, hop, and a jump away.
That's true. It's easy to, if you live there, just you can jump in there. I mean, it's no reason to leave the neighborhood because you got all these great restaurants and bars, and you're just kind of there. And it's easy. It's hard to be like, let's go. Like, how many times did we go somewhere else? When I'm like,
why would we? I mean,
we went bowling Sunday, but other than that, just because
we did. And guess who won, y'all?
Yeah, I won the first game. You won the second. That's what happened. But I mean, it's only
then we're so old, our arms and wrists were hurting, and we couldn't play a third.
Like we're gonna stick with two and go get a beer. Like that was it. But yeah, I mean, because we were going up there because we're going bowling, but otherwise, it's like I end up staying in Belhaven all the time because everything's just right there.
There's that little place next door. We walked in there, but it was hot and crowded. So the station.
Yeah. It's a nice. I've been there before. It's cool. They got that thing to the yard out there where you can watch games. It's not bad.
Play cornhole.
Like yeah, you can play cornhole and all that stuff. So I don't know, just hate it when any business closes. It sucks, but that's the restaurant. I mean, the restaurant business is really tough, and big chunk of them fail in the first couple of years. So hate it for Eudora's. I wonder what'll go in there next, or if anybody's going to take the risk, because so many other businesses have failed over there.
I keep waiting to see what they're going to put in. What was that chicken? The one there was a grocery store, and then Lou's.
Oh, the one by my house right there. There was the well, it used to be the old Jitney, and then McDade's, and then Grocery Depot, whatever the heck they were calling it. And there was Lou's next to it. But that whole building, that English Square, English Village, whatever you called it, like that's been there forever, is now that's completely vacant, which is really sad. I feel like
I feel like somebody needs to put something right there, because I feel like it would do well. I mean, I think Lou's did really well.
It did.
I mean, every time I went over there for lunch a couple of times, and it was packed. But I know they opened up a new place in Madison, and I think maybe over.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe there's one over in Township.
Okay.
So I guess they were just expanding more.
Well, I think also that parking lot, you remember every time you go over there, you were just getting accosted by homeless people.
That's
constantly.
true. It was bad, especially
really bad.
at night.
Yeah. And it was just kind of the point where I remember times I used to go to the grocery store, and I could walk there from my house, and I just leave because I'm like, okay, I'm going to get, and it wasn't just like friendly homeless people. It was like, they were like shaking you down. I mean, it was really getting
they were aggressive.
They were really aggressive. And I think that was happening in front of Lou's is what I heard.
And also and you were saying the other day, we drove around the corner of the liquor store, and there's that pizza place right there that I've never been to.
Yep.
But I feel like they probably deal with the same thing. There's just so many like aggressive homeless people in that area they're really scary. I mean, I don't like driving over there without you at nighttime.
Yeah, it's there's a bunch of them that it's just like this. I don't know. It's hate to hate on homeless people, but heck, I mean, this is just true. It just gets really aggressive over there. That fortification area, Jefferson area right there. And that was happening really bad at the grocery store and at Lou's. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I'm going to go to the one in Fondren because this is ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to get a toss. I mean, I had one time one dude just like chased me to my car. I was like, all right, bro, come on. Like, this is just, in Jackson, you feel pretty uneasy because there's already a lot of crime. I mean, I don't know what this guy's going to do. Crime. So I think that contributed to a lot of it. And also in the Grocery Depot, the quality of the stuff in there was really bad towards the end. So I think that was another problem.
I know Kingfish has talked about how great their plate lunches used to be back in the day. He said you couldn't find a better one over
like
in
the
there.
80s. I mean, that's what he's talking about. Yes, Kingfish was better in the 80s.
Well, Kingfish is older than me. So.
Yeah. But I mean, it was, they did have actually, they used to get breakfast there all the time. So that was nice. But it just went downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah, it did. And that'll do it. That will definitely do it, especially when crime rate is so high in Jackson and you have an incompetent mayor and a DA who's telling everybody he can fix cases the way he wants them to go. And then you got homeless people that are shaking you down. That'll do it to you. That'll do it.
Glad you brought that up. We're going to have, I saw Jeff Good, speaking to him, and we were talking about about Salamukis, and he was talking about how excited he was he's a big John Horn supporter, and how excited he was for a new administration to take over and to maybe resolve these issues where you would get businesses back when you've got some competent leadership in there, and that'll.
So Jeff's got Bravo, Salamukis, and what's that other one? Broad Street.
Yeah. So
he's done well with his places for sure.
He's definitely been a Jackson staple for sure, and he's held the line here. And
I'll tell you what, he knows how to hire staff.
Yeah.
Every single time I have been in one of his restaurants, the staff and the service has been top notch.
It is always. It's never bad anywhere you go that he owns. I mean, because he knows what he's doing. I mean, that's why he's successful. And and I think he's just been like I said, he's a Jackson staple, and he's really held the line here. And it was nice reading what he wrote on his Facebook post, talking about how excited he was because he really loves Jackson. And he was excited for this new administration to fix all the bad stuff that's happened. I mean, everything's not going to go away, but at least there's some light at the end of the tunnel here in the next few weeks. We're going to Chokwe Lumumba will be gone in 5 weeks, I guess it is.
That's right. Hugo is watching online, and he said it's time for a Republican mayor. I agree, Hugo. I agree.
Well, I don't know that Kenny G is going to win the election, Hugo. So that's the Republican candidate, Kenny G.
Well, we're talking about Jackson.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Oh, is that? I didn't even know there was a Republican candidate. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking independent would be good.
Well, Kenny G is the Republican candidate for mayor of Jackson. And other than his vast music career, I don't know much about him. So
I don't think it's the same Kenny G, Shaun. Have you not heard?
No, his name is Kenny G. That's all I know. So he is a Republican candidate. And of course, there's two independents, Zach Service and Ronnie DePriest, and Kim Wade has now put his support behind Mr. DePriest.
Yes.
So I think Kim will still be on the ballot, but he's kind of basically saying, if you're going to vote for him, vote for DePriest. Is the way I'm taking his message.
Yeah.
So and we'll see how that'll be a week from today.
Well, I guess we'll do a live. We'll do a
election
like
night
a watch
show.
party.
Again, my prediction is going to be over pretty quick. I think Horn is probably going to get near 60% of the vote. That's what I'm calling this right now.
We'll see. We will see. Kim Wade was running as an independent.
He was.
There were 3 independent. I think actually there's a 4th independent, but nobody ever talks about. I don't either.
Right, there is somebody else. Yeah.
But Zach Service, Ronnie DePriest, Kim Wade has now pulled out of the race and put his support behind DePriest.
He'll still be on the ballot though, but he is.
Dan White said, "Who the hell is Kenny G?"
Kenny G's Danny's a Republican nominee.
He's the Republican nominee for Jackson mayor.
Yeah.
But nobody knows who he is either. So,
except for his vast, famous music career.
Again, different Kenny G. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about the media.
Well, we're talking about the Capitol Police officer's case and the media and the evil AG's office and all that stuff.
The way they spin things. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to break it all down for you on WIB 103.9, Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey. For you on WIB 103.9, Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey.
103.9 WYAB.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
At Johnny's Pizza House, we consider our customers like family, so we spend the extra time needed to put more love into making our pizza. From our dough made fresh daily to fresh, never frozen ingredients, Johnny's Pizza House takes pride in knowing that what we serve our customers isn't just pizza. It's a slice of home in every single bite. Great traditions start with great food and great people. Start your tradition today with Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house is frozen, cause my air conditioning's old. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
School's out, and McBee's in Ridgeland is the perfect place for family fun this summer. Enjoy our famous $12 Blue Plate specials every Monday through Friday, and now kids eat for just $5. That's right, just $5. Bring out the whole crew and enjoy our huge patio with lots of TVs, plenty of fans, and a safe space where kids can play while you kick back and relax. Family friendly, budget friendly and always a good time. McBee's Bar and Grill, buzzing the res since 1982. Check out McBee's Bar and Grill on Facebook for today's special.
Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates proudly welcome optometrists Mary Lou Puglisi and Dylan Pankey to their team of eye care professionals. Both share Optical 2000's commitment to offering you and your family the highest quality eye care, blending state-of-the-art technology with personalized service. After your eye exam, step next door to the optical shop, which features select frames Gucci, Tom Ford, Calvin Klein, Lacoste, Maui Jim, Scott Harris, Michael Ryan, and others. Optical 2000 in Clinton and Richland.
Come together right now.
We are back here on Crossing the Aisle, WYAB 103.9 with Shaun and Lindsey. So, Shaun, we were sitting there and you were scrolling and came across an NBC article or a reel or something.
Now, well, it was a reel that I saw on Sunday, and then I actually looked up the article. And just to give everybody a background, we've been covering the case of the unfairly prosecuted Capitol police officers by the Mississippi Attorney General's office. There are two cases. Just to give everybody a quick recap, there's an aggravated assault case involving a victim named Sinatra. I'm using victim in air quotes, Sinatra Jordan.
Yeah.
And he's had a passenger in the car. I think her name was Miss Sherita Harris, I believe is it. And the Michael Reinwald and Jeffrey Walker were indicted for that case, an aggravated assault on them. There's another case that involves Officer Reinwald and Stephen Frederick. That's a manslaughter of a man named Jalen Lewis, who had a bunch of dope and AK-47 and a bunch of guns in his car.
He did.
So you make of that what you will. But anyway,
ran into the cop.
Ran to the cops. But, somehow the Attorney General said, hey, man, guess what? These guys are guilty, which is unbelievably ridiculous. And we've done a lot of shows on that, and I'm sure we will continue as this case moves forward. Then they were removed off the aggravated assault case, which we're about to discuss.
In a federal court.
What?
In federal court.
No, I'm saying they were removed in state court.
Oh, state court.
Yeah, so
Judge Wooten in Hinds County.
Hinds County Circuit Court removed
Circuit Court. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, removed the Attorney General off of the case last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that, saying there was a conflict because the Attorney General represented Mr. Walker and Mr. Reinwald in a civil case stemming from the actions with Sinatra Jordan, who is the subject of the NBC article.
Because shocker, you can't defend and prosecute on the same case.
Right. That's what the Judge Wooten had eloquently stated that in her order. I encourage everyone to read it if you can. And then the AG tried to sneak in something last week and had sent it to the District Attorney of Hattiesburg, 4th District, I believe it's called, Lynn Carter, where her Deputy Attorney General's husband works. So make for that what you will too. It seems a little fishy to me, but I'm sure Judge Wooten's going to have to
things that make you say,
Yeah, things that make you go, And I'm sure Judge Wooten's going to hear emotion on that and see what Judge Wooten has to say about that. I would not want to be the one defending that if I was if I did that to Judge Wooten.
She's probably not very happy with
I don't think
you.
she's going to be very happy, but we'll see. But that's just kind of the backstory about that. So we've been following that pretty extensively. Now, NBC News initially.
Well, to back up, CBS, first of all, had headlines stating this young father.
And that was NBC too. That was actually.
I thought that was CBS. Are you sure?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was NBC, but I can double check. But I mean, yeah, I think they've been on a. This is the same reporter, John Shoup is actually his name.
Okay.
And so they've been covering this and trying to make it like they're trying to build a narrative here that basically the cops are bad and they're racist and they're shooting, unarmed black guys and black women. I mean, that's kind of what they're doing if you read this stuff. So I came across a reel on Facebook Sunday where there's a video of the reporter talking about this case and how long, and he's followed it. And the headline of the article is a Mississippi man spent 940 days in jail waiting for a trial that never came. Cry me a river on that. But anyway, so they're trying to describe the incidents involving Michael Reinwald and Jeffrey Walker about what happened with aggravated assault. And what happened was, just for everybody's information, is Reinwald and Walker pulled this guy, Sinatra Jordan, who's in a rented car, by the way, with Arizona plates. And they pull him and his passenger, and he's driving with a suspended license. You're not supposed to do that. That's illegal. They pull him over in front of Wingstop right there on State Street, across from the old Walgreens that's closed down now. And they pull him over. The video of the Wingstop shows this, and they get out of the car and he takes off. They chase him down Fortification Street right there. You can take a right immediately. Fortification Street. They go all the way down to the interstate. that exit going to I-55 South. They follow him there. Then they notice, I think, and I could be getting some of this wrong, but they notice that the back windshield of the suspect's car gets shot out.
And I mean, these guys. This guy and this female. They were just cruising downtown.
Yeah,
with
well,
no
that's
goal
I'm going to get
other
to
than
that
to
portion.
relax.
I'm going to get to that portion of it shortly. But so Sinatra Jordan is shooting out the back of the car, shoots his windshield out, shooting at the officers, at Officer Ryan Walton, Officer Walker. Then they chase him to the next exit, which, if y'all know that area, it's High Street. They get on, they chase him down High Street. He does a jump like it's the Dukes of Hazzard over that hill right there, if y'all know where that is. And they chase him all around, I believe, Greenwood Cemetery. He crashes his car somewhere around there, maybe getting the actual place right. And they also observed him throwing out dope and guns out the car. And they, of course, there's gunfire exchanged, and the woman in the car with Sinatra Jordan is hit by some of the gunfire. So that's what happened right there. But according to NBC, this is not exactly what happened. What they said was that Sinatra Jordan and Miss Harris were, I'm going to read this verbatim, so I'm not even paraphrasing. I'm going to read exactly what it says. The night of August 14, 2022 began with a casual drive, according to Jordan's telling.
Just to relax.
He and a friend, Sherita Harris, were cruising downtown Jackson with no other goal than to relax. Harris had rented the car, a Nissan Rogue with Arizona license plates, after hers was damaged. I'd like to know how that was damaged, but anyway.
Her driver's license probably suspended for whatever happened there.
Jordan was driving even though he had a suspended license. Okay. Now, everybody, we're all adults here. And I'll read that again. The night of August 14, 2022 began with a casual drive. Just a casual one.
So let's play this like if we were in court.
Yeah.
And I'm Jordan and I'm on the stand. Go, Shaun. What would you do to me?
Oh, I would just be like, so I don't even know what I'd tell him. I was like, so what were you doing, Mr. Jordan? It's like, we were just on a casual drive.
Just out to on a relaxing drive.
Okay. Oh, what were you? I mean, I don't even know what. It's so ridiculous. I don't even know. I'd start laughing. The question asked him was like, you have a suspended license, right? Yes. Why were you driving? Why wasn't Miss Harris driving?
She doesn't like to drive.
She doesn't like to drive. Even though she rented the car, obviously, clearly she drives.
It's more relaxing for me to drive.
It was more relaxing for you.
With my suspended license.
And what's it suspended for? I mean, what did he do that we know is suspended for? So she's rented the car because hers is damaged. And he's driving. He knows what he's doing is illegal. It's what I'm trying to get to y'all, ladies and gentlemen. He knows that it is illegal. He's not that dumb to know that driving was suspended. No, I think he knew. And so when he pulls over at the wing stop and the cops get out, he's probably getting nervous because you can go to jail for having a suspended license and driving while you do so.
Not to mention, there were things in the car that he was throwing out eventually, so he could go to jail for those things too, probably.
Because he's obviously got dope and guns in the car. And then, but his story, in the article, is that the cops just started shooting at him because that's what they do. They just drive around and they say, oh, look, there's a guy with Arizona plates. Obviously, if they run the plates, it probably comes back to a rental car. It doesn't come back to Mr. Jordan because it's not his car. And they don't know yet that he has a suspended license and shouldn't be driving. He is, of course, concerned that they're going to find out. And that's exactly why
he's going to go to jail.
But what happened, according to him, basically, is that the cops just started shooting indiscriminately, like it's, RoboCop. I mean, there's
footage of this. There's dash cam footage of this that shows that when they pull him over at the wing stop, he takes off.
Yeah, well, I think it was a video from the wing stop.
Was it the video from the wing stop?
Yeah,
he doesn't comply.
As far as I know, I believe it's a video from the wing stop. Yeah, he doesn't comply. He just takes off and he takes a right there, fortification, and drives like a bat out of hell. And then he shoots his windshield out. I mean, he shoots his windshield out.
Not even his, a rental car.
A rental car. Yeah, I guess he didn't care at that point. And he's like, I'm sorry, Sherita, I hope this doesn't go on your insurance, which he doesn't probably have. So and then they just go on this chase. But NBC, and the point of this is, NBC is writing this like this guy is a victim. Like this is the most ridiculous story. You saw me when I was reading this on Sunday.
He was getting mad.
Visibly angry reading this crap. Like, he's just on a casual drive to relax with his suspended.
He's got as many brain cells as Saul Goodman.
Well, what's relaxing about going on a casual drive when your license is suspended?
Yeah.
I'd be pretty nervous. Like, man, I hope I didn't pull over. I mean, because my license is suspended. So this is a story that NBC's actually, with their limited ability in journalism, to question. Because these are the questions I would ask him. Like, why in the heck were you driving with that suspended license? Oh, what was your objective? Oh, it was just to relax. Did you have anywhere you're going to go? No, the relax is he's got a bunch of dope. Either he's getting high or he's selling it. One of the two things.
He's probably going to meet somebody for a drug deal, if I had to
Probably,
imagine.
I
If
would
I had to
imagine.
guess, allegedly.
Because I think he's got like two other, like he had some other charges on him. I don't know if those were actually was convicted of those. But I mean, this story is so stupid that it's annoying that NBC would write this down.
And then he spent so
ridiculous
many
this
days
is.
in jail, and so they made it out like he was this. He had been so mistreated, and Mississippi is horrible for allowing him to spend this many days in jail. And I mean, I don't know what the deal was there or why he didn't have a trial or an arraignment or something quicker. But what I do know is that clearly he had been in trouble before. He clearly had guns and drugs and things in the car that he shouldn't have had that are very much illegal. Clearly he did have a suspended license. He opened fire on the cops. And so you get what you deserve, dude.
Well, also, he's complaining about his little 900 or whatever 50 days. Okay, if I remember correctly, aggravated assault on a law enforcement, which means shooting at them or attempted aggravated assault. There's 2 officers in the car. I think it's 30 years max on each of those. Normally, aggravated assault is 20 on an individual. I think it's extended to an extra 10 years if you're law enforcement. So that's 60 years consecutive right there. And then the felony fleeing, which I can't remember if that's 3 or 10 years. Anyway, he had a ton of time that he could be sitting in jail right now instead of complaining about this. And then he ends up pleading to the fleeing. So we know he did that. So he did that a bunch because he pled guilty. But he said, I just wanted to get out. I'm like, I bet you did.
Yeah.
Because you got a gift. You got lucky in this situation that all you pled to was a felony fleeing. It could have been 2 counts of aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer or 2 counts of attempted aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer. So, NBC is trying to make us be like, I can't believe this guy was sitting in jail for 2 years. I mean,
it's absurd.
Just shove it. That's just
exactly.
Anyway.
We got to go to our next commercial break, but y'all stay with us. Someone has said they wanted to hear my thoughts on the latest of the Karen Reed trial. I'll be glad to tell you that, and we'll continue to break this down when we come back after the commercial break. Y'all stay with us. Continue to break this down when we come back after the commercial break. Y'all stay with us.
.1039 WYAB.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420. MyPureAirConsultants.com.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit AmericansForProsperity.org. Be a part of positive change at AmericansForProsperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
CBS News Brief. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says there has been what he calls another common sense decision about who needs COVID shots.
The COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule.
The FDA is also limiting approval of shots to adults 65 or older and those with underlying health problems. Kelly O'Grady reports on new consumer confidence numbers.
What this tells me is consumers are looking at the data, that they're seeing the headlines, what's happening with the stock market, and they're feeling better.
CBS's Aaron Navarro reports the Trump administration intends to cancel all remaining contracts with the country's oldest university.
One administration official told me that the goal at the end of the day is for the government to be out of business with Harvard.
President Trump lashed out at Russian President Putin again today, saying Putin is playing with fire. Over the weekend, Trump called Putin crazy. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
Y'all come see us at Flora Animal Hospital, your trusted hometown vet. We offer a wide variety of veterinary services, including boarding. Dr. Kaylee McCary is a Madison County native who has been serving the Flora community and surrounding areas since 2013. She leads our team of highly trained and compassionate women. We are located at 740 Highway 49 in the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Call us today at 601-879-3222. At Flora Animal Hospital, we treat your pets like our own.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink specials, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
Would you like a free ice cream? Head on over to Bumpers Drive-In on Highway 49 in Flora. If you're craving a juicy made-to-order burger and crispy golden fries, if you want to taste the best hand-breaded chicken tenders you've ever had, if you want a hand-mixed milkshake or a whirl with Nutter Butters, Oreos, then bump on into Bumpers Drive-In in Flora. Exclusively at the Flora location. Mention you heard them on WYAB and you'll receive a free frosty ice cream with your order.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Come together right now. Oh.
We are back here on Crossing the Aisle. We've been talking about the Capitol Police who've been indicted and the way the media has been spinning this. We got a comment that says they feel entitled enough not to worry about the suspended license. Then they run and put other lives in danger. No concern about others. And that's so right. I just said that to Shaun during the commercial break. I said, yeah, he's complaining about these 900 days in jail, but for those 900 days, the city of Jackson was a little bit safer.
Yeah. And especially, I mean, what's amazing to me, his story is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That like, it's just, it's, well, I used to call like, it's fantastic, which also, I mean, it's unbelievable. That anybody's buying that he was just going for a relaxing drive and that he just, with a suspended license, and the cops just roll up to him, just start shooting. Police don't just roll
they don't
up
do that
and just start shooting. Like, I'd love somebody to give me an example when they're doing that. Like, this is a pervasive problem in the country. Police just see a car and like, oh, guess what? We're just going to start shooting at it. I mean, that's so ridiculous. Like that. Why would they do that? Just to walk to a random car and just start shooting? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And as many thousands of cases I've handled over the years, prosecutor and now defense, I've never seen a case where the cops just roll up to a car and just start shooting people. Like without any, I mean, now the car shooting at them. Yes, they do.
They shoot back, which they absolutely should do. I mean, they've got to protect themselves. And I mean, the real reason that they're pulling these people over is because there's a reason to do so. And they want to protect the citizens of
and
Jackson
themselves.
and themselves. Yeah.
I mean, so Sinatra Jordan, what he wants you to believe, what he's going to want a jury to believe is that the cops just saw him and picked him out and started shooting. And his only
probably because he was black, I'm sure.
I mean, or whatever reason. And then, so his only recourse was then to go on a Dukes of Hazzard style chase throughout downtown Jackson, resulting in, an injury of his passenger of his car because he had to get away from these killer cops. That's the story. The story is that these cops just saw him, decided to shoot, And by the way, and they didn't know who he was because the car's not his, not registered in his name.
Mm-hmm.
They're not running those tags. They're not saying, oh, that's Sinatra Jordan. He's an obvious drug dealer, so we're going to start shooting at him. He doesn't even have that to make as an argument. Well, they knew I was a dope dealer, so they started shooting at me. No, they didn't know because you had a rental car that your passenger in the car had rented. You didn't even rent it, and it's Arizona plates, goes back to the rental place. So they don't know anything about you.
Shaun, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were just out for a relaxing drive.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So these guys are just sociopathic cops that just saw a black guy driving a car with Arizona plates and decided to just shoot at him. No, that's not what happened. That's stupid as hell. Nobody's going to believe that, Sinatra. Sorry. You got a gift. What you should do is just shut up and be like, I'm glad I got this gift and I'm going to go. And I'm not in jail for 60 years, which is where you should be. But instead, it's, oh no, the cops were just indiscriminately shooting at me, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, I just, it's unbelievable. And that the AG's office bought this story is even more fantastic in my mind. That they bought
fantastical.
That bought this ridiculous story that anybody, you don't have to be a lawyer to see how stupid this is.
It still doesn't make sense to me. I still don't understand why on earth this has been made their hill to die on and they're just not backing off of it. Because what could have happened, I guess, is them just not appoint another prosecutor.
Yeah.
They were given 10 days by Judge Wooten to appoint a special prosecutor, and then they appoint one that's very clearly tied to their office, which looks bad enough as it is. But I mean, I guess what they could have done is just not appoint one. I'm sure it was.
The thing, I'm not glad because I'm not glad for Michael Reinwald and Jeffrey Walker, who I think are good dudes. But if this thing does go to trial, like the AG wants it to, I cannot wait till Scott Gilbert gets to have Sinatra Jordan on the stand and gets to fillet him with this. I mean, it's going to be laughable when they call this guy. And
it's not going to be a good look for Lynn Fitch.
No, it's not. It's going to be hilarious. I hope there's a video camera in the courtroom. We could all watch this because Lynn, we're going to make fun of you for this because this is how ridiculous this guy's testimony is going to be. And I mean, I think Scott's a good lawyer, but I think almost any lawyer could rip this guy a new butt because it's so insane that this is even possible. So I think I've yelled enough about how angry this makes me. But
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it's not like Capitol Police are the Canton, Massachusetts PD. I mean, those guys over there.
Well, why don't you now? What she's talking about is her obsession, the Karen Reed trial. Besides, there's a few things that Lindsay's obsessed with: vaccines, transgender people,
parental
and the Karen
rights.
Reed trial.
True crime.
So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so the Karen Reed trial, which we've talked about a little bit, and to give you just a little back history, she is being tried for the second time for second-degree murder and vehicular homicide under the influence for running over her boyfriend, who was a Boston cop. And y'all, this is such a witch hunt. Let me just tell you, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it's a joke what they're doing over there. And at first I was kind of undecided. I said, there's just so much that points to yes, that she did this. And there's other things that don't add up, but I'm not really sure what's going on. But then Shaun and I actually went to Boston. We talked to so many people there, and every last one of them thought she was being set up, and that there's just so much corruption within the police offices in Massachusetts, especially around that Boston area. I think Canton's about 20 minutes outside of Boston. And they have the Commonwealth has made themselves look like complete and total fools during this trial. The witnesses that they are bringing in are changing their reports to corroborate other reports from these specialists who are reenacting the crime scene. And there's just so much that doesn't add up. That the people whose house they were at where this after party was taking place, they've now sold the house. They have pulled up all of the carpet in the house. They've gotten rid of their dog, that a lot of people believe the dog attacked the boyfriend and that he died inside the house and not outside the house by being hit by Karen Reed. So today I was having withdrawals because they've been out of court since they were off Thursday, Friday, and then of course yesterday for Memorial Day. And they came back this morning, and it's just more of the same. It's these specialists that the Commonwealth is putting on the witness stand. There's clear corruption going on. They're changing reports, and the defense team that Karen Reed has is just doing an incredible job of making them look like fools. I know you've been watching the recaps. You're not as
I'm
into the weeds of it
I do not.
as I am.
I have work during the day, so like I have to.
Look, if there is ever a case where reasonable doubt is being proved, it's this one.
Yeah, I mean, from what you've explained to me about it, it seems like it's going to be hard for the state to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. I told you this weekend, I think it'll hang up because there's enough evidence there to me to
I think she's going to be acquitted. We disagree on that, but
yeah, I mean, she might be. I mean, I think it's more. I think she's more likely to be acquitted than she is to be found guilty.
Yeah,
but I think there's enough evidence there for some jurors to be like, I mean, it sounds like she might have hit him with the car, but again, may have done something is not enough. And I mean, they should. I think if they're okay, I'll tell you it this way: if they're holding true to their oath, they should acquit her. I'm just saying the way in practicality in real life through my experiences. Jurors don't always do that.
Well,
that's not always the way they do
I'm so
things.
in the weeds of this, and I'm on every Facebook group, and I'm reading all the comments, and it's just really consumed me the last 6 weeks is this trial. And what I'm hearing, word on the street, Shaun, is that the jurors, they even had to pull the jurors and have a one-on-one conversation with each one of them last week because they are laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
they're laughing through the Commonwealth's witnesses.
If they look, just like you've seen me voir dire a jury before, and if you ask them, like, if you think the state does not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, then it's your sworn duty to find the defendant not guilty. I think that in this case, they have not proved it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Not even close.
Clearly, they have not done that. But I'm just giving you like inside baseball of this. Is that
I'm like directed verdict?
Yeah, because you're looking at like, well, there's all this reasonable doubt, and there is, but I'm just saying practicality. Jurors get back there and like, man, I think she's probably guilty. That's what happens, and like it sucks, y'all. That's just the real way this works. I think they'll get back there. It's like, I mean, come on, who else would it like? Do they expect us to believe there was a fight when he was out in the yard? There was the taillight glass on him,
but not initially, not until.
Well, they found it in the yard. I mean, they're gonna think like, okay, what was her taillight doing in the grass? Like, obviously, she hit him. She was drunk as a skunk.
There's also ring video camera footage that shows her backing out to go look for him when he doesn't come home and hitting his vehicle,
right,
which is where the taillight gets busted.
Yeah, I know, but there's also the taillight fragments in the yard.
That's after the cops went and exhumed her vehicle, so they had access to the taillight.
Right, but for the jury to believe that, they have to believe that there was a conspiracy, right? Correct? They would have to believe that.
I'm always down for a conspiracy.
I know that, but in my experience is when juries, you start arguing a conspiracy theory to juries, they're like, yeah, right. I mean, that's just what
I think there's so much in this.
That's just what happens. And I'm not saying like I think there is enough here that they have not proven it beyond a reasonable doubt. I really believe that. Do I know whether I believe their conspiracy theory or not? It's another thing. I don't necessarily believe that, but I don't think they have enough evidence to convict her, and I don't even think they should have taken the trial with what the evidence they got, most likely. But
I agree.
But what I do know is that sometimes jurors get like, there's the taillights on him and in the yard. I mean, she must have hit him. She was drunk as a skunk.
She was drunk. And if y'all are not following this is the Karen Reed trial. There isn't a documentary. I believe there's one on Hulu. From ID Discovery, and there's also one on HBO Max.
That's the one I've seen.
That really breaks it down. I think it's called A Body in the Snow. If you want to go like get really caught up for what happened all through the first trial. Again, this is the second time she's being tried, and I'm glued to my court TV, and Law & Crime every day watching this thing play out. And it's very, very, very interesting. It's one of the most interesting true crime cases that I've seen since the Tylenol murders, which we'll talk about that some other time. We watched that documentary last night, which was really interesting as well. But It's time for our last commercial break, but y'all stay with us and we will be right back to wrap up this Tuesday. Looks like the sun may be coming out. Hallelujah. We'll be right back. Up this Tuesday, looks like the sun may be coming out. Hallelujah. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Social Security belongs to you. You work hard and pay into it. So it's only fair for you to expect to get the money you've earned to help cover living expenses and bills, and not for politicians to use as a piggy bank. That's why AARP is fighting to protect your Social Security so you get what you've earned. Learn more at aarp.org/youearnedit. That's aarp.org/youearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Can't take your team out to lunch? Have lunch brought to your team with Mangia Bene Catering. You already know Mangia Bene. They're the masterminds behind Broad Street Bakery, Bravo Italian Restaurant, and Sal and Mookie's. And now Mangia Bene wants to feed your office of 10, 100, or even 1,000. Delicious box lunches, salads, sandwiches. We even do breakfast. Take your next lunch meeting up a level. Mangia Bene Catering. Call Mangia Bene to get started. 601-362-2900. That's 601-362-2900.
Hi there, it's Lori from the mailroom. Of course, you know we offer shipping with UPS, FedEx, DHL, and the Postal Service. But did you know about all the other services we offer? We have stamps, envelopes, boxes, wrapping paper, greeting cards, and gift bags. We also offer gift wrapping. You can drop off your gifts, and we will have them wrapped and ready to go. Come check us out. We are south of Germantown High School, north of Gluckstadt Road at 272 Calhoun Station Parkway, Suite C. Mailroomgluckstadt.com.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
You know what's a nightmare? We've all seen that movie where the bad guy's coming and your gun jams up. Luckily, that's just a movie, but you can't take the chance it could happen to you in real life. Hey, y'all, I'm Therese Apel from Dark Horse Press, and I've written stories about a whole lot of situations where people needed their gun to work for them. So if yours is moody or likes to jam, you need to take it to Guns and Gear. Let their professional gunsmiths look at it and fix it so it'll work when you need it. They're the absolute best at what they do, and that's why I buy all my guns from them. That's Guns and Gear in Gluckstadt. Check them out today.
The weather is heating up and the deals are even hotter at Mazda of Jackson. Right now at Mazda of Jackson, you can drive home your dream Mazda with low financing rates available. 2.9% for 72 months on most models, or finance 36 months and pay just 0.9%. That's right, 0.9%. Experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. It's time to choose Mazda. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Cork and Door Company has been providing quality residential garage and commercial overhead door products to Mississippians for over 50 years. Cork and Door is a supplier of garage door parts and services such as LiftMaster, commercial and residential door operators, as well as Clopay, sectional commercial and residential doors, Asta, commercial sheet and rolling steel doors, and Cornell, rolling steel and shutters, with many in stock for the same-day pickup. CorkandDoor.com. That's CorkandDoor.com.
Come together right now. All the
We are back here to wrap up this Tuesday after Memorial Day. Shaun, you just saw a new, Kingfish had a new article drop, right?
Yeah, if you go to Jackson Jambalaya, he has an article about what we just were talking about with Sinatra Jordan. And the district attorney in March pled Mr. Jordan to felony fleeing, which means fleeing from a law enforcement officer, and to a misdemeanor with 6 months to serve, credit for time served. He was released. That's how I got out. So he's admitted, even though it was a misdemeanor level, to fleeing from the cops. Now he's pled guilty under oath, and he's agreed that he did flee from the cops. Now they dropped the aggravated assaults on the case, which I don't understand exactly why they did that. And they may have done that because there's this conflict now with the AG and charging the cops. So there was, I mean, it puts the district attorney in a little bit of conundrum. I can see that where on his end, where you're like, wait a second, well, now you've already indicted the cops for aggravated assault against him and the passenger. And so what do? Do we plead him guilty to that? And then what happens? Just it creates a lot of confusion. Now, I don't know that Jody Owens could have done it, though, considering I don't think there's any love lost between the AG's office and the Hinds County District Attorney's office.
I don't think so either.
Especially over the Anthony Fox case, which is a case the AG got right, in my opinion. Here though, he has pled guilty to that and to felony fleeing. So I think this is something, of course, on cross-examination they can use against him. I would think that Mr. Jordan and say that, you've admitted you fled. I mean, you did that.
Yeah, why did you do that? Why are you driving with
the
the suspended? I mean, obviously the suspended license can be proven.
And he said, well, I just wanted to get out of jail. But the thing is, he said he was guilty of it, and they'll just say the cops were indiscriminately shooting at me. And
Which is, again, makes no sense. They don't do that. They don't just pull up to a random vehicle, especially with out-of-state tags.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. The story is so stupid that a third grader wouldn't believe it, and that's how ridiculous it is. And it's so funny because you run across these stories all the time with criminal defendants, and it's just like, come on, man, that's not what happened here. And
no, clearly.
But
but we're going to continue to cover this and bring you the latest information as this plays out, and bring you the accurate information right here on Crossing the Aisle. We are here Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 during your lunch hour. So we'll be back tomorrow. See you then.
See ya.